Hello, my name is David Crocker, and today I'm going to be talking about study skills for my speech. Now, I want to address a couple elephants in the room real quick. First of all, this assignment is extremely late. Second of all, I'm talking about elephants in the room. I'm the only one in the room right now, actually. That's because a show, school, work, and then a second job don't work well for my schedule, but we're going to make do. I figured if I'm going to fail this assignment, I'm going to fail fighting at the very least, so it's a little hard to see the monitor right now, but this is the best setup I can get right now. So we're just going to get this started, and whatever car crash happens is going to happen. So to get things started off here, we have the roadmap to give us a nice little guiding point over what I'm going to be talking about today. First off, we're going to talk about the thesis, the whole main headline of the operation. Then I don't want to waste your time. I'm going to actually explain why you should study, and some different conditions you could manage to be able to have a better studying experience. We're going to start with external conditions, then go over to internal conditions, along with some learning techniques you can utilize in your studying habits. Then we're going to wrap this up at the conclusion and get us out of here so both you can grade this and give me probably about a 40, and then I can hopefully get this uploaded before I lose another 20% for having this late. Now, get things started. The overall thesis here, the topic of today. I believe studying is incredibly important because it improves your education performance overall by helping you increase your understanding of the subject as well as give you good management skills. Speaking of those management skills, you can also improve your studying by managing external and internal conditions that'll help boost that performance overall. Now, why should you study? Well, according to Dr. Singh, from his report posted in the International Journal of Research and Analytical Reviews, titled Analyzing the Impact of Study Skills on Academic Achievement, a Study Among School Students, he claims, and I quote, "Students in secondary schools achieved much better academically when they used study strategies. Up to 99% of secondary school pupils significantly increased their academic accomplishments." End quote. Thank you, Dr. Singh, for providing your research for this operation. I did not reach out to him. I just found this on his post from the abstract and conclusion page. I'm very happy he posted this for free. I did not want to have to buy another book. Now, we've undergone why we should study. How can we actually study better? Me personally, I used to think studying was just reading a book or reading a little note card you took. That was it, and it never worked for me. Quite frankly, studying still doesn't work for me. I essentially gamble, and I love gambling in school, but you know what? I've taken to actually trying to help myself a bit better with some of these classes. Starting with external conditions. What are some things on the outside we can actually control to help us better perform? First of all, making a schedule. I'm guilty of that majorly. I have the world's worst schedule, obviously. I'm uploading this, I think, 4 days past due, probably. To have an actual plan to figure out when you're studying or just doing schoolwork is a huge help. Me personally, I can't do schoolwork for long periods of time. It has to be at most an hour at a time. I have to be very in the zone for that moment, but the minute I get off track, it's over. So I need a nice structure. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Tons of other students, according to Oxford Learning, from their titled How to Study Effectively, 12 Secrets for Success, posted at Oxford Learning, of course. They claim this is a huge thing for students, and I believe them. This helped me during my first semester with my honors geology class. Similarly, finding a place to study is a major thing. I can't study personally in loud environments, things like cafeterias. Some people do like louder environments because it helps them give, in a sense, white noise. Me personally, I like a nice quiet environment, possibly with some music, my personal music that I can just have in the background while I work. This is a huge thing also according to Oxford Learning here. Similarly, group studying. Some people find it, not me personally, but some people find it, according to Oxford, that if they're in a group, it almost feels like they have mediators, or moderators rather, helping them keep on track, helping them continuing their work. Now, we talked about the external conditions. What about things we control in here? Internal conditions. First off, learning style. This is a big thing I learned in my first ever EDUC class. Figuring out your learning style is critical. I personally am a huge kinesthetic and visual learner. That's why I like these little, you can't really see here, that's why I like these little roadmap things, because it gives me a perfect little thing of how I can go down, what I need to be doing, and what I need to be talking about. Now, if I were to have instructions auditory, I can't do that. I did that with one of my classes last semester, and it sucks. So having that understanding is going to incredibly help you. Similarly, time management. We talked about this with the study schedule and planning. You need to be on that from the beginning. Pacing. We also discussed that very briefly. I personally can't go long times. Some people can only go long times. But that kind of feeds into your learning style. People have a lot more positive responses to things like active recall or just prolonged exposure. Now, another thing, this is a bit more of an extremely internal thing, confidence. A lot of people are afraid to ask questions both in or out of class, and I get that. I am horrified of raising my hand in the middle of a class. I'm the one who sits at the back of the room for the entire class, won't even give their name to the professor unless they need something. Don't do that. Don't do that. The only way I passed pre-cal back in high school was because I came in early for tutoring and asked every single question in the world I could. My teacher probably hated me, but I passed with flying colors, so I'm happy about that. And also self-rewarding. You know, if it's been a long week, you've done well, or you think you've done better than you thought you would, get yourself a milkshake. Get yourself some ice cream. Hang out with a friend. Reward yourself for doing better in your studies. Give yourself some positive feedback, because not everybody is going to. Now, to wrap things up here, studying is important because, once again, it improves your education performance overall. It also just gives you some really good personal discipline. It can be improved incredibly by maintaining external and internal conditions, understanding your environment, the people around you, and more importantly, understanding yourself. And my only question to leave you off on is, how can you use these skills in just your normal everyday life? How does understanding yourself and your environment get you forward in life in a much stronger position than you are today? Thank you.